This is probably the first genuinely refreshing TV series we've gotten from the MCU since WandaVision. And that's in no small part due to this remarkable cast, unique direction, and a story that constantly was subverting my expectations. Each episode in this series continued to surprise me again and again and again, and by the time the final credits rolled on that last finale episode, I was thinking, all right, you know what? That's more like it. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so don't worry if you have not seen this series yet. I am not going to cover anything spoilery. And by the way, I haven't been remembering to mention this, guys, but if you want to save some money on NordVPN, check the description below this video because I do have a discount code associated with that link, and you can use it to save some money. I've been using it myself for the past few months, and it works really well. Save money, protect your privacy, what's not to try? Right off the bat, this series feels entirely different than anything that we've gotten from the Marvel MCU shows so far because this series does not feel like a superhero TV series. In fact, you know what? This is not a superhero series. It's not about a superhero at all. It's about a guy who has a dream that I think a lot of people can probably connect to. Simon Williams is a character that is chasing that Hollywood dream, and you find out in this series that his love of movies, of acting, came from his childhood. More importantly, from a special moment he had with his father, where they went and watched a movie that ended up changing the course of his life, and that is something I really connected to because that is very much my origin story as well. The whole reason I am so into movies as I am, the reason this channel even exists is because of that special bond that I formed with my father over movies. He is the one who introduced me to so many series that I ended up loving throughout my life. James Bond, Batman, Thundercats, guys, the list is endless, and it all is due to my father, so I connected to that part of Simon's character a lot. Throughout these 8 episodes, we see Simon go through the motions as he attempts to become the character of Wonder Man in the new remake that Hollywood is making, and along the way, he meets Trevor, which, of course, this is a no-brainer situation to bring this character back. He is, after all, an actor. Ben Kingsley continues to delight with this character, and I found myself watching this series in awe at just how effortlessly he transforms himself into the strange character that is Trevor. I can still remember just how pissed I was when Iron Man 3 revealed the twist with the Mandarin. I was thinking immediately, wow, they just disrespected Iron Man's equivalent to the Joker. Like, that's some grade A bullshit. But the more I rewatched that movie, I had to force myself to do it because I was initially pretty pissed, but the more I did, the more I fell in love with that twist only because of Ben Kingsley as Trevor. We saw him reprise the role of Trevor for the movie Shang-Chi, which, by the way, seems like it's not going to get a sequel, and now here he is stepping into the shoes of Trevor yet again. Trevor really is every bit as layered as Simon, and the two of them work together to create this really dynamic duo that's fascinating and addicting to behold. Their friendship makes the series what it is. I mean, you could say that this series literally is their friendship. Everything about this show that is interesting comes from the bond between these two characters. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is a really talented actor, and I really hope I said that name right. It is a little complicated for me, but when he steps into a role, he brings all that amazing energy to the character, and his characters are never boring. I thought he did a very good job portraying this character who is desperate to achieve this goal that is so relatable. Even to me, it's relatable. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. I really did. I even went to an audition. I showed off to some agents. I ended up even getting invited to a convention, but my parents couldn't afford to send me, so that dream kind of died right then and there. But yeah, I connect to that part of his character very much. And I can't help but feel like there's a lot of Hollywood actors out there that are going to really connect to some of the things that we see Simon going through in this series. The anxiety, the panic, the overthinking characters. While I was watching this series, I couldn't help but notice the distinct similarities between Simon and Bruce Banner. Both of these characters, their powers are triggered by their emotions. And Hollywood is a place that is very, very cutthroat and brutal. So that's one hell of a place to have a character who has his emotions triggering his powers. Now, for those of you watching this series because you're looking for more of that typical Marvel MCU superhero fanfare, you might feel disappointed with this series. Because this series is literally as far from that as you can really get. As I said earlier in this video, this is not a superhero TV series. And to be honest, there was a part of me that was wondering if it was going to end up being more like that typical Marvel MCU stuff that I was expecting. And I kept wondering, when is this show going to start getting a bit more superhero? But then it never really did. That's when I realized I needed to adjust my expectations because we were onto something totally fresh and different here. And once I adjusted my expectations, I really started to fall in love with this series. And honestly, I feel like this series was just the refreshing take that the MCU really needed because we've been following the same formula now now since 2008. All these origin movies, they feel very similar. They kind of like different clothes but on the same body. And this series right here feels like a whole different beast. Sure, it has some of that superhero stuff going on. He does have powers after all, but it feels so tonally different than everything we've seen before. It's very much the shot of adrenaline that the MCU needed. I don't know if this is going to be like this going forward. I doubt it will be, but it's very much a welcome change for sure. So by and by, this series feels like a win in my book. I really enjoyed these characters. The friendship between Trevor and Simon really did make this series everything that it is. These actors are in top peak form. The writing is just super refreshing. There is a relatable quality to it. There's humor going on. I mean, man, this show really did subvert my expectations constantly. I never ended up getting exactly what I thought I was going to be getting. And that's exactly why when this series finally ended, that final episode reached its conclusion, I was thinking to myself, yeah, okay, this is it. This is more along the lines of what we need to do going forward. Because if they're all going to be the exact same thing with different characters, people are going to start checking out. And you can see that they have. So I'm begging you guys to give this series a chance. It is going to very much entertain you. For me, I'm giving this series, I don't know if it's a one-off or if it's a multiple season, but I'm giving this season, I'm gonna call it a season so far, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some mixed reactions to this series because it very much turns what you're expecting on its head. So with that in mind, if you saw this series, put your thoughts on it in the comments. I'd love to get some conversations going. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to hear more things from me, guys, subscribe to this channel. Later.